There's like almost nothing that I would challenge Vaush on, but this is probably going to be one of them, I'm thinking. Well, first of all, if Vaush ends up seeing this, you should watch the mission statement. It's called "These Fans Are Actually Political Predators." It's on my channel. Thumbnail says "actual groomers," and it's got several of their faces. Very good video, if I can say so. The thing that I really have a problem with is this fucking MCU takes nuclear bad.
Vaguely know who actual fandom is. I think I might have actually been on that, maybe. It's called Sex Bot Uprising. Pseudo-intellectual space smut. No,
I don't think you have.
If you watch the video clip that we uploaded on the Fandom Menace channel the other day, it's corresponding with the mission statement, where it's basically just, you know, where we talked about how we wish people like Vaush, and but like Xander Hall does sometimes, but like they're not, from what I've seen, they haven't covered this stuff from the perspective of, like, obviously they know, probably all of them know that this stuff can radicalize people to the right, but I don't know if they realize how intentional and orchestrated and organized it kind of seems like it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I mean, I know with Xander Hall, he's said that it's this sort of content that actually did radicalize him to the right, and it was then through the discovery of left-wing content creators that he sort of considered his positions a bit more and actually thought about what he thought. So I think he's more prone to cover these sorts of people, and I know his law knowledge goes deep on Gamergate, because I think he was there right in the midst of it. But generally the others, either they are a little bit older than he is, because he was sort of the perfect age demographic for Gamergate as well. Yeah. But the others, either if they're slightly older or didn't get into YouTube until more recently, or just the sort of people that you talk about on the Fandom Initiative are not the sort of people that they interact with.
Yeah, and so, yeah, like, really, honestly, there's probably going to be some criticism of Vaush's content, I'm guessing, or of this coverage, but it's not going to be Vaush's fault, if that makes sense. Like, I mean, I really should just lean into it and, like, just start some drama. Maybe that would, like, get him to focus on this. I don't know. Seems like that's how that works, honestly. I like, if you just, like, say everything as shitty as possible, then that will get you, move you up in the algorithm. I don't know. Anyway, but no, it's going to be probably some criticism of, just in the sense that you have to be a crazy person who watches this stuff as much as me and Organized Chaos and Turf Nation and stuff. We pay attention to it a lot more, and there's like almost nothing that I would, take it upon myself to challenge Vaush on, to be like, oh, actually, you're not right about that, or you don't have a full understanding of this thing. It's not much, but this is probably going to be one of them, I'm thinking. And it's strictly due to, he's covering all kinds of shit, whereas I've been covering the same shit for 3 years. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Vaush dumped Shu. Yeah, I'm not up on the Vaush lore, but I think that's what I heard. But I guess I need to, do the addressing of these things. I used to watch Vaush a lot. I don't really watch him much anymore. Every once in a while, because I really don't watch YouTube at all anymore, unless it's for content that I'm making. But like, every once in a while, I'll wake up and I'll turn on YouTube, and I pretty much watch a short video every morning when drinking coffee. If Vaush has a clip up that is something that actually just grabs my interest, I will watch it now and then. But generally, and that's not to say that I'm like denouncing him or whatever. I think he's generally effective and a net positive. And I'll stand behind that. I know that people have their reasons to not like him. I have reasons why I think that, things that I think he could do differently, better on, and I hope that he will someday. But generally, I'd rather him be there than not, considering the things that we're dealing with, considering, the fascism. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to stand by everything the guy's ever said or does say or whatever, and I will point out when he says or does things I don't like. I don't love that he uses, the R slur so much.
No, that's fair, and I know he's got his own defense for it, but personal preference would be not to use it.
Yeah. And I mean, look, I let it slip one day a couple of weeks ago. I'm surprised nobody called me on it. It slipped on stream because I was really pissed about something, and it was just, so it's not even like completely, massaged out of my vocabulary. But yeah. Worse than that, though, the thing that I really have a problem with is this fucking MCU takes nuclear bad.
Oh shit! They hate to see a Black King winning, or a bling as it's known. That's actually kind of funny. Not only is he black, but he's getting like the literal apex of white Aryan elf pussy. God damn, he looks good. He's gorgeous. Yeah, he's fucking gorgeous. Yeah, no, they're equally attractive. Oh man. Yeah, it took like no time at all.
Hold on. Where's Aragorn? Is he standing behind his
I'm
wife's
not seeing
boyfriend?
Eric. Yeah, is this like a Where's Waldo?
Behind the tree.
How do people listen to this, dude? It's like there are so many people. It's like it's uncomfortable. Like not uncomfortable listening to, like racist. It is racist.
You want me to tell you the truth? How do I listen to it? You think I might go through these streams and like, just comb for stuff to talk about, right? Nope. I just wait until somebody posts it on Twitter. Because I really like the people that do that, by the way. Hats off to them. You make this possible for me because I would not be able to just comb through their content to find shit.
Well, looking at this, which is a clip that I've never seen before, and I don't know if this is new or not. I doubt it because they're talking about something that sort of blew up a couple of weeks ago. But just how casually racist is all their other stuff?
As all that, what other stuff?
Well, all their other content. They do one of these once a week or twice a week. I don't know. However often they do these live.
I think there's one on Chuds and Bigots channel too. That's like Tuesday night.
So yeah, just the sort of casual everyday racism, I guess.
Well, and so yeah, he commented on how he didn't expect it to be so soon, right? And that's kind of the point of why I'm covering Vaush, covering this, because what he doesn't realize is they have gone fucking harder in the last, I could probably look back and see that it's just been a gradual increase, but it's just, man, pretty much from Alex Jones the first time to a few weeks ago with Gavin McGinnis, they've just hit the gas on the, I don't know, I was about to mix my metaphors and say taking, the mask off, but yeah, they're mask off, man. They don't give a fuck. And I'm not sure if it's because they're just kind of feeling bulletproof.
None of them are really thinking about what they're saying or thinking about. No. They're just trying to edge each other.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because that's what you do when you're a teenager, and
that's where they're stuck. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And there's nothing wrong with
actually, we know that not all of them are. That's the thing. We know that not all of them are. That some of them, at least a couple of them, I think there's plenty of evidence that Jeremy Griggs and plenty of evidence that Eric July are not as goddamn childish and stupid as they portray themselves now.
The reason you aren't taken seriously is because of your behavior in situations that pertain to Star Wars from top to bottom. Now, look, I don't love everything Star Wars. I'm not a big fan of Rebels. I didn't like Rogue One that much. But do I constantly whine and bitch and complain about it? No!
So this is Diego Luna's character. This is Cassian. And they do this whole callback thing, and they're pushing identity politics with this. They 100% are. And this is the only reason Diego Luna is the lead character of this series, because they're trying to push their diversity bullshit.
There's evidence of them being more nuanced, more considered with their opinions. Even if they still had bad or whatever opinions, they've definitely kind of just whittled their perspective, their tone, and their takes down to just hit the algorithm and hit these, get people excited in the negative, I guess, about what they're saying. And look, if Vaush ends up seeing this, I want to point out. Well, first of all, if Vaush ends up seeing this, you should watch the mission statement. It's called "These fans are actually political predators." It's on my channel. Thumbnail says actual groomers, and it's got several of their faces. Very good video, if I can say so. Mainly because I worked on it with Organized Chaos and Turf Nation. And in that, there's the clip of Ryan Kinnell, who was at Universal Studios, and he sees a Simpsons related statue or whatever, and he's like,
They have a memorial to George Floyd.
and then in the video with him is Alex Stein, who is an employee of Blaze TV, and they're buddies. They were like, that seems like they were on just like a leisure trip together.
Legitimately got work to do. Like, tanking on one movie, that's not enough. There's power in the customers, but customers have to have some sort of awareness, self-awareness, as far as what you maybe contribute to this. Can you replace that Disney thing that you rely on to have a good time with something else? I think you can.
A lot of times they'd have Eric July on here, who is also an employee of Blaze TV. Man, I wish they would really cover it more of like the intentional, because it's like, yeah, he realizes that it's this content that will trap people, pull them to the right, but does he realize that they know that, and that's what they're doing intentionally, right? That's literally the point of it. Maybe they didn't all start out doing that as the point, but it is now. And I'm relatively sure there's some kind of funding going on. Stands to reason the Blaze TV would be part of it. Is that right? Oh yeah, I think I do remember seeing that somewhere. There you go. Yeah.
Well, the guys
are connected to the biggest freaking, culture warlords, on the right. And it's like, for the longest time, I was under the mistaken kind of, I guess, assumption that they just are doing their thing, that it's separate and whatnot. And it's like, of course, in hindsight, they're as fucking connected as they are.
Well, the guy he's talking about now does the left can't meme. So, not that these channels are political.
No, they're not. They're not political or anything, right?
No, they're definitely not political. They just happen to associate with a lot of political figures who are all on the right, which is just coincidence. Just coincidence.
The fact that Alex Stein was at, a recent rally that was what was it? It was a speaking engagement that the Proud Boys were supposed to be at. Gavin McInnes was supposed to speak at a college. And then the college students, of course, protested it. And then the Proud Boys came in with Gavin McInnes and started a bunch of shit. And Alex Stein was there. He's very obviously just a shit stirrer, antagonist of, trying to create a situation where the Proud Boys can be violent. You know what I mean? But he's also buddies with these guys. Like, they're all part of the same fucking organism. We really need to, like, my goal, and I think the initiatives in general, and all of you watching, your goal should be to try and get people to see them as they're not just some fucking, toxic fans, right? Like, they're definitely toxic.
I gotta say, like, from an image perspective, 8 mediocre looking white nerds complaining as this like gorgeous fucking, I say Black King, literal Black King, because this is after he's been crowned, right? Just standing here with this hot elf pussy in hand, it's just kind of funny.
Yeah, it is funny. The problem is that it reaches people, man. Like, Vaush has talked a lot about how there's this gap on the left where people aren't, willing to or trying to reach, young white men who are susceptible to, stuff like Andrew Tate, right? Jordan Peterson, that type of shit. And there's not really anybody on the left that's, kind of offering the positive alternative. Not that there should be a direct alternative. I don't want to get canceled from people fucking taking something out of it, because I did see that shit. That's crazy. But yeah, that's kind of the problem, is this content reaches those people. And, when you don't have any, when you're especially young people, they don't have any beliefs developed already in a lot of cases. They just kind of glom on to what seems popular or what, gets a laugh or whatever the hell. It's really easy to just, catch them with this type of thing. And this is now what they think. They now think that this is somehow fucking terrible. And it's by the way, this is all white replacement theory shit. It's all literally just an extension of that within fandom shit. You know, they're people say that they're replacing white characters and whatnot. And it's like, so you're just doing the great replacement shit. Okay, got you. There's pretty much a version within fandoms of every one of the shitty, racist, xenophobic, bigoted, sexist, you know, takes that the right has generally. There's a version of it in this content, and it's not by accident, you know.
Do videos like this still get views? 66K, I guess. There are actually only like a couple of ultra far right YouTube like nerd channels anymore. I think a lot of the YouTube nerd channels have kind of broken off into being just general like politics far right channels like the Quartering. There are a couple that maintain like the pretense of being engaged in nerd culture. The funny thing with the Quartering was originally.
I mean, what does he mean by a couple is what I want to know. Because, like, yeah, I guess there's fewer, but there's still plenty, right?
You know what I think this is? I think this is probably the YouTube algorithm. Because of the sort of stuff he covers, I'm sure the suggestions that he gets is a lot of politics.
True. I'm trying to think of a way that we can kind of like just run through a list of them real quick. I know. 1 second here. I'm going to take this off screen so you guys don't see my secrets.
So yeah, I think this is from a place of not actually having much to do with these sectors. A, because he doesn't generally watch that many films and TV shows that they cover, but also because he tends to. I mean, I don't even know how much YouTube content he watches, but if he's not watching their content, he's probably getting suggestions of political right wingers, people like the Daily Wire, that sort of, and the Blaze, and so from his perspective, he probably thinks there are only a couple of these people like the Quartering who have made it big, because that's still in his orbit. He remembers them when the Quartering got big, and sees a lot of people talking about it, because he has transitioned from nerd culture to pretty much full-on political tomfoolery in his case.
Yep. Vaush, because I know you're watching right now, this is a list of, and you know, you can check my channel, Organized Chaos, Turf Nation. We've been covering these things to varying degrees for, you know, myself for over 3 years, Turf Nation for almost, I guess, a couple of years now. I'm not sure. Organized Chaos got into it within the last year or so, but we cover it pretty extensively. So here's a list of channels, and if I see one in this list that is more overtly political, I will not name that one. So this is, you know, fitting the description he just said, or opposite of what he said, because he said that became more political, general political channels. These are going to be channels that focus on media primarily and frame themselves as media, you know, critics, reviewers, and so on. And yet the things that they're conveying repeatedly, the ideas that they're pushing, are pretty obviously, if you know what you're looking for, right-wing, in some cases far-right rhetoric. So Friday Night Tights is the Friday show that all of these guys that he's watching in this video are, you know, generally on. You know, there's a few, I guess, seats that kind of people come and go depending on what show it is. Critical Drinker has over 1 million subscribers. I think he's probably the biggest one, and his stuff is a little bit less overt, but it's very much, you know, kind of framed in they're trying to destroy masculinity kind of thing. And he lies a lot in order to make the point that, you know, movies are like getting rid of strong men and so on. RK Outpost, that dude is like, you know, a bad day away from just Sieg Heiling. I think he's, I don't know, he's really, really fucking cringe and really, really, really racist. Geeks and Gamers, that's D-Day Cobra that's on screen there. He's one of the, seems like, kind of ringleaders, so to speak. Him and Nerdrotic, I think, are the general figureheads, I guess. Nerdrotic, by the way, has worked on PragerU content. I don't know how extensive that relationship is, if it was just a one-off or not, but it's happened at least once that I saw. Heel versus babyface. He's just kind of a dipshit, but he's always around. And Black Garrett, I've literally never watched any of his content. Then there's the quartering. Yeah, he's got branched out some for sure. So then you got Josiah Rises, who, the guy that attacked Nancy Pelosi's husband, he was just an avowed fan of all these guys, really. But like specifically, he had posted several Josiah Rises videos, and then like along with some racist freaking screed, and about, you know, commie woke Hollywood or whatever. And once again, they had Gavin McInnes on Friday Night Tights a few weeks ago. It really should be all you need to say. Gavin McInnes, they've had Alex Jones on twice, and they just let them spew whatever the hell they're going to say. Especially Alex Jones. This is one that I've watched the whole thing, the first one, I believe. And I mean, he was doing COVID denial, you know, talking about the woke globalists or whatever the hell. And they're just like, yeah. Melanie Mack, we need to look into her. She's gotten kind of popular, I guess, recently. I'm seeing a lot more from her, but she's definitely talking about media and doing groomer posting and stuff like that. Then there's Alex Stein. We mentioned him earlier. He's more overtly political, but like we said, he is directly, you know, in league with at least a couple of these guys. And that's just the Fandom Menace. Then there's Comicsgate. You know, they're less popular. There's less views going on, I think, with these guys, but it's all generally the same thing. In fact, Ethan Van Sciver, the figurehead of Comicsgate, was a co-founder of the Fandom Menace, which I didn't learn until recently. And it seems like around the time that the Zack Snyder burn happened, he kind of separated a bit.
Just a quick thing before we get started. I know that on our donation page, we still have the Geeks and Gamers logo. I just want to say that I really, we talked about this, and you know, we're really not affiliated with Geeks and Gamers as far as I'm concerned. How could this happen to me?
Ethan Van Sciver was just on Tim Pool the other day.
A lot of strange women. I hate to put it this way. Sorry, ladies. A lot of strange women kind of suddenly showed up in the comic book business and basically came at us with this criticism that this was clearly a boys' club. It was unsafe for women, and everything that you guys are putting out is sexist, and it's racist, and it's homophobic. And, well, we're going to fix that. If you hire us, and you should hire us, we're going to fix that, because if you don't hire us, you're sexist. So suddenly all of these women show up and they start basically making changes to this sort of male-dominated hobby.
A couple of weeks ago, talking about, you know, how these crazy, strange women are coming into comic books and, you know, making it so you can't draw women sexy no more. And then there's Eric July, who's a whole fucking problem in and of itself. He's, you know, a employee of the Blaze. He likes to downplay that, but he is an employee of the Blaze. His fucking face is on a poster in the lobby of Blaze TV on the wall, along with the Duck Dynasty guy and Glenn Beck and Alex Stein. You know, then there's other, I guess, kind of tangential ones. I think Vaush knows who Adam Friend and Sitch are, for sure. He's been on there. And I'm sure the same thing happened with him that happens with pretty much anybody they invite on that's on the left. They bombard you with bad faith fucking claims and attacks and make you defend positions that aren't your positions. And then, you know, then whenever you push back any kind of successfully, they just basically start yelling at you, call you bad faith, and then, you know, call you a groomer and shit. So, yeah, it's a problem, man. There's a lot of them, and they get pretty decent views pretty consistently. I don't think they're generally as popular as they were, but they're still doing damage.
I think another reason they probably stayed off Vaush's radar is because they don't debate. They don't back up their ideas against any sort of opposition to those ideas. They just propagandize. So they aren't in his orbit, but they're in plenty of other people's orbits, and those people who are interested in positive fandom.
You were going to say actual fandom, weren't you? Yeah. Yes, I do think Tim Pool knows exactly what he's doing. I used to be a lot more on the fence about that, to be honest. Like, but it's in the last year that I've really decided what side of the fence I'm on. In most cases, like I really used to just be like, until I have some evidence, I don't know if they're just stupid or dishonest. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way to know. And just, yeah, you see patterns enough, and you see, you know, I'd have to really sit down and think about what has over time pushed me over the fence. But definitely tend to think that they know what they're doing. And it's a numbers game. I think the reason it's hard for people like us to think that how could they really know what they're doing? How could they do that? Is because, you know, we're not terrible people, and we don't. It's like, for example, I call Eric July stupid. You know, I've said that a lot. He's not. He knows what he's doing. It's just a complete, you know, lack of morality, really. It just, at some point, a lot of these guys decided, I'm willing to say whatever I need to say, and to make money and to get where I want to be in life or whatever. And it's easy, you know, you just kind of got to repeat shit and react to the newest thing while repeating the same general rhetoric about it. And they get paid pretty fucking well.
I think it's worth going back to the video though, because
oh, is that what we're supposed to be doing?
I think so, yeah, because
give me 1 sec. Oh, okay.
Give Vaush a bit of time to sort of redeem his lack of knowledge on this subject.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not literally not taking points against him for this.
No, I wasn't.
I'd rather him be focusing on the stuff he does and not know the specific, you know, examples that we know. But
Only imagine the Gathering channel, but like the pattern with these channels, none of them actually care about nerd shit anymore. They're all like bent out of shape, angry, divorced, loser, like mid-30s or later guys who don't engage in their hobbies anymore because they don't find joy in life. So they don't actually like engage with the systems or anything. If you take a look at basically any nerd scene, the most involved people who are actually on the ground, who buy the comics, who play the game, who participate professionally, they don't get mad about stuff like this. They just like the company and they like the game. Maybe liking Wizards of the Coast is not.
Man, when you said redeem himself, you meant like as soon as I hit play, he was gonna start fucking hitting it. Like, good call.
We've introduced you. Again, I don't know who your partner is. I don't know what kind of gay shit y'all got going on, but I didn't agree to speak to you and your partner as answers. Like, first of all, what type of gay ass shit? I don't know what speed dating type of shit that he thinks this is gonna turn into, but why in the fuck would I ever? And it's like that with a lot of these cats, bro. These fucking fruits, man, will sit here and they rely on these people. Well, let me say this: we offered him, but they, them, whatever he goes by, maybe. We offered this fucking fruit, and them definitely if I've done a video about them in the past. But these fucking fruits, they don't abide by that at all. To his partner, I think we may be dealing with the rainbow, if you know what I mean.